Hello, welcome to the 2023 to 2024 Mathema school year parent meeting. So today we're just going to be covering just general information about what our course entails, like what your student will be learning, when dates are, and so on. Yeah. So who are we? So we're just going to go around and introduce ourselves. My name is Ishani Tharkar, and I go to DuPont Manual High School, and we're seniors.
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm a senior and I also go to DuPont Manual.
Hi, I'm Yolanda. I'm also a senior at DuPont Manual.
I'm Ruth, and I'm also a senior at DuPont Manual.
And hi, I'm Kayang, and I'm also a senior at DuPont Manual.
Yeah, and we've all had experience with advanced courses in math at school or participated in competitions such as Math Counts, AMC, or the higher level AIME competitions. So we have a lot of experience with math, and we're excited to share it with others.
So some general course information. The courses that we give at Mathema, they're free online courses, and we cover topics that are found on competitive math exams like Math Counts or AMC, as you might know. And this is an introductory to intermediate level course. So a grasp of basic algebra and number sense would greatly help your students' learning, but not too much previous knowledge is required for this course. And then our classes are grouped by grade level. 5th through 6th would be in one class, and then 7th through 8th graders would be in another class, just to separate and enhance the learning for the different age groups. And then the classes, they'll cover similar topics, but sometimes the older class will go at a slightly faster speed.
So classes are on Sundays from 7 to 8 p.m. and classes will begin next week on September 17th, and the last class will be on February 4th. And there's no class on any Sunday that is in the middle of a long break from school, so that will be on October 1st, November 5th, December 17th, December 24th, December 31st, and January 7th.
So here's our more detailed class schedule with all of the topics we'll be covering. So we'll be covering everything from like the basic principles of like fractions and exponents, all the way up to more complicated like geometry topics such as different properties of circles and how to do like angle chasing within a problem. Again, this is an introductory to intermediate class, so it would be good to have a little bit of background knowledge about algebra just to make it easier. But this is sort of introductory, so not a lot of background knowledge in any of these topics is required. We'll be introducing everything from the ground up. So yeah, these are the dates we'll be having class.
And also, just to note that the actual schedule was sent in an email to all parents. So you should also be able to access it on your own time if you want to look back at it.
So, like I said, this year, our course is going to be focusing on counting and probability, number theory, and geometry. And we'll have different types of lessons on different days. So there will be some days where we're introducing a concept from the ground up. And then there'll be some days that will be dedicated to like reinforcing topics we've already gone over. And these days will have a more like fun interactive activity to them. Some of them will be holiday themed. So that will be fun. And those lessons might involve like group work or like a game that will like review the previous subject matter while letting like the students engage with an activity.
So our goal is for our course to be both engaging and interactive, but especially with the virtual format, this requires work on both ends. So we ask you to make sure your student is actively participating by answering problems and questions. We often have students type their answers in the Zoom chat, for instance, or even unmute to say their answer. And this makes the class much more fun and productive. And furthermore, we understand that sometimes you're going to have to miss a class, and that is totally fine, but we recommend that you email us ahead of time. That way we can tell you kind of what you missed and where you can find resources to try to catch up. And we've never had problems with someone being disrespectful, but just to throw that out there, we hope that we have a good environment for everyone to learn. And finally, the most important one is that our course will be challenging at times. And we want you to make sure that your kids know it's totally fine to ask questions. We love answering questions. So if they're ever confused, they should be sure to clarify that before we move on. And we run our class through Google Classroom. So as you can see on the slides, there's the student join code. We recommend that you write that down, although you'll also get it in an email if you miss it here. And you should have your student join on a non-JCPS email or non-school email. So just like a typical Gmail. And in that Google Classroom is where we're going to post the links to get into class each week, as well as the slides and any other resources we have. So just make sure your student is in that Google Classroom.
Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask now. And some important links or just things to know. It would be helpful to take a screenshot of this page. But our website is mathemaofficial.org. You can find all our past content. You can find a lot of resources on our site, and also links to our content. For our email, it's mathemaofficial@gmail.com, and our YouTube is below. So in the chat, I see a question: how is 7th and 8th grade session? How will it be different? Mostly just like because 7th and 8th graders probably already have a greater understanding of the concepts that will be taught, or will find it easier to grasp those concepts. The class will go by faster, so we will also get to do more problems in those classes, and we will also likely be able to do harder problems as a result. So it's not the content that necessarily differs, it's just it's not the content that differs, it's just the problems that we'd get to. Is the code for the 7th and 8th graders? Yes, the code is for all people, for all of our students. We will actually have our classes in the format such that everyone has the same Zoom link, and then you will enter a breakout room that is designated for 5th or 6th grade classes or 7th and 8th grade classes. So the code will have all of the stuff. So yeah, that Google Classroom will have all the information you need. Are there any other questions? Feel free to unmute. Okay, if not, I'm going to stop recording, but if you still do have any questions, feel free to stay behind. Thank you for coming. Is there a science class we have? No, we only do math, so yeah, sorry.